Oh, hi, it's Randy. Okay, let's set this up. So normally in this type of video, I'd be doing like foundation or something or makeup or something, but I'm not really wearing makeup right now because I got my lips done and I don't really want to wear makeup. I think I look fine natural. So I guess I'll just do a little skincare, even though I already did skincare, but I have to do something with my hands. Okay, we'll start with some peptides. So I saw the Wicked movie. Okay, I've never seen the Broadway show. I've never really been a fan. Like, I always have known the song Popular. I've always connected with that song. I really like that. I've always loved that song. I never even knew what the fucking story was about. Like, I didn't even know that that shit was like before The Wizard of Oz. Like, I used to love The Wizard of Oz growing up. So, I mean, I have a connection with The Wizard of Oz. So, anyway, the movie came out and my sister really wanted to see it. And I kind of did a little research on what the story's actually about. And I was like, you know what? Wait, this seems interesting. Showing how the Wicked Witch of the West actually was good beforehand and was friends with Glinda the Good. Like, I didn't know that. Like, they were friends and they went to school together and all this shit. And then it kind of shows how, like, the Wicked Witch of the West becomes bad. And it's kind of like a reflection of life. I like the message behind the movie because it's showing how she was so mistreated. She was bullied because she's green, so she's different. The whole message, I think, is about people being different and how they're mistreated. And okay, and it intrigued me that Ariana Grande was in it. I like her. I've never had an issue with her, ever. Like, I've literally never had an issue with her. I like a lot of her music. We Can't Be Friends is one of my favorite songs, actually, one of her newer ones. And, like, okay, but in the movie... In the beginning, she's bullying the green girl. I forgot her name, sorry. But the green one, she's like literally like makes fun of her and is a bitch and she's fake as fuck. And she literally gives her like a witch's hat to wear to a dance just to make fun of her. But then she feels bad. So that was a scene of redemption for her at least. At least she had some likable quality in the movie. But everything this bitch does in the movie to help others is literally just for herself. It's just to make herself look better. It's all about her image and how she changes her name from Galinda to Glinda, and she claims it's to benefit animals, but she's literally doing it just to look good to everybody and to get everybody to praise her. So that's the type of bitch she is, and I couldn't stand her character. I thought she was so annoying and so vain. There was like two scenes where I got a little bit emotional. Like actually that dance scene where Ariana comes to, she feels bad and they end up having a moment and that made me a little emotional. And then towards the end, there's another scene. So there's some really like touching scenes in the movie. There's a few of them. But overall, was I obsessed with the movie? No, I thought it was really long. It was almost 3 hours long. I didn't know any of the songs except Popular and Defying Gravity. And like some of the scenes in the middle of it, I was like, oh my God, like I can't with all this singing. Like, and I don't mind musicals. I love like Greatest Showman and like Mamma Mia. Like, I like a lot of musicals, but I have to like the music. Like, I didn't like any of the song. Popular, I'm obsessed with. I loved that scene. That was my favorite scene probably in the movie because I love that song. I think it's just such a pretty song, and it's like, I don't know, I love that song. Like, but most of the music in the movie, I was like, but like I said, I like the messaging behind it. I think everybody should see it. Like, I think it's a meaningful movie and a meaningful message, but yeah, it's a little long, and some of the music and the singing, I'm just like, oh. Okay, so funny story. So I wanted to get a second part-time job, something really early morning. It would be literally like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., like a few times a week. It was just for extra money. I also have experience getting up super early for things. Like I've had a job in the past where I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning and I ended at like 1 p.m. And also I had to do community service for some ticket like violation things. I had to do community service 100 hours. And for that shit, I had to be up at like, oh my God, that was literally like 6 in the morning to like 3 or something. I don't know, but that was so annoying. But because you're not getting paid for it, so that was like extra irritating. I'm not gonna say where this was, but it was a store that I really like, and I was like, oh cool, I can get a discount too, like whatever. So anyway, and it's really not that far from where I live, so I can't even believe this happened. Basically, I had an interview. The parking lot is so crowded that I can't park by this actual store. I have to park somewhere else and then walk through the mall to get to it. So I guess I ended up being a little late for the interview. Not much. So I go to the front and I tell the girl, hey, I'm here for an interview. And she actually like recognized me from a different job. She like knew who I was. I was like, oh, that's funny. So I'm literally standing there waiting for the manager or whoever to interview me. First of all, she took like 5 minutes to come over to me. I'm literally standing there waiting for her. So she just wasted more time. She literally comes like a bat out of hell out of nowhere. She's like, I don't even remember what she looked like. She was like, you're late. We can't do the interview. And I was like, whoa, like she was aggressive. She was rude. That is not the way that I was expecting to be greeted. Obviously, that was my fault being late, even though it wasn't intentional. And I'm really good about being on time. If anything, I'm always early to things. I don't like being late ever. So it's crazy that I was late to this. It's like, okay, well, that energy is not very inviting or welcoming. Like, I don't know that I want to work here actually, because excuse me, what is this? Like military camp? Are you the Queen of England? Like, what the fuck? So yeah, it like didn't work out, which is fine. Like it was, like I said, it was just a part-time side job, but it's like, damn, like that just put a really bad taste in my mouth. And I spent a lot of money at this place. I mean, I'm still gonna shop there because I mean, I don't even remember what she looks like. And if I see her, I'm gonna ignore her. Like we don't even know each other. I don't even know her name. And I wouldn't even know her if I walked past her. Like she was really basic, and that's not shade, like no shade. It's just, she's very normal looking. There's nothing about her that's like super striking or interesting that you would remember. So like I'd probably just walk right past her, not even know it's her. And I totally understand being late to an interview is like super unprofessional. I probably didn't deserve the job, but like the aggression part is what I didn't understand. Like I had such a friendly, happy aura around me, and then she comes out like a demon coming out of hell. Like, what the fuck are you so mad about? Like, it's not that deep. Like, okay, then I don't need this job. Thank you. I was only a few minutes late, and you also kept me waiting even longer. So that's the part that's confusing to me. Like in that time that you had me waiting, couldn't we have just done the interview? Also, the interview would have been literally 2 seconds. This job really doesn't require, it's like a physical job where you just like lift shit. And I'm using a lotion with retinol and vitamin C. Oh wait, no, not vitamin C, peptides. I have vitamin C on my mind because I have these capsules with vitamin C in them, and I was going to use them, but they make your skin really oily, so I don't think I'm going to use them right now. I don't want to be oily on camera, and also I have more videos to film. So yeah, today's like a filming day. Okay, so something kind of happened recently. It's really not funny. It's actually pretty serious, but I always make light of everything and like try to find the humor in it because it's kind of funny when you reflect on it, but in the moment it's super serious and not funny. So I'm not always at my family home. Like right now I am, but I'm going to be leaving soon, and then like I'm not going to be here for like, so sometimes, you know, I like to spend time with my family. So I happen to be at my family household like this night, and there was a lot going on. Long story short, I had to be taken by an ambulance to a hospital because I was saying crazy things. I was like out of control. My mental health was out of control this night. I was all over the place. Let me disclaim this by saying I'm completely fine. I'm in a good place, but this night I was not. There was a lot going on. I could literally sit here and list like 5 different things that were piling on top of each other for me mentally, that was weighing on me. And I was acting out of control. I was like crazy. And so my family didn't really know what to do. And so my mom literally called an ambulance. She thought I had to go to the hospital. So a bunch of police show up, an ambulance. Literally, there were 2 police officers in my bedroom. I'm sitting in my bedroom and the door opens. It's 2 cops in my bedroom talking to me. One of the cops was fucking hot. He had glasses. He was like that nerdy, cute, like, hello, librarian, you're cute. Okay, so I did not go to a mental hospital. 3 years ago, I actually did go to a mental hospital because I was in this thing called psychosis, and it wasn't from drugs. It was because I did not sleep for 3 days and I was out of my mind. I was experiencing something I've never experienced before. I was literally hallucinating, walking around in circles, talking to walls. Like I was crazy, like because I was in a psychosis. Like I was like a zombie that made no sense. I couldn't even form a sentence. My family had no idea what the fuck was happening to me when this was happening. They thought I was going to be stuck like this forever, but I was not. So I did have to go to a mental hospital for 5 days, even though I became well. By day 2, I was like back to normal. And I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. But this time I was just going to a regular hospital because they were worried that I was like a threat to myself or whatever, just because of the crazy shit that was coming out of my mouth, because of the stress I was under, because of I was so upset. 10 cops outside. There's an ambulance, cop cars everywhere. There was like 10 cops. I come downstairs to go with them, and there's like 10 cops in the garage. I'm like, oh my God, this is like this big production. Like it looked like a fucking murder occurred. Okay, so here's the kicker. So I had plans with my friend, and I had never hung out with this friend, but as she was coming, this whole shit occurred, right? So I'm literally taken by ambulance. I don't have my phone. I left it behind, wasn't even thinking about my phone. And she was on her way. I leave with the ambulance, right? She shows up. There's fucking cop cars all in my driveway. She sent me literally like 40 texts. Like, I'm here. Am I in the right spot? There's cops everywhere. Are you there? Randy, 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 are you okay? Randy, answer me. Randy, I'm here. Randy, Randy, Randy. I didn't even put fucking shoes on. So I went to the hospital with no shoes on. So this was probably 9 p.m. that this all happened on a Monday night. I did not get out of the hospital until like 7 p.m. the following day. So I get home and I immediately run to my phone because I'm like, oh my God, she probably was freaking out. And I read all the texts. She was probably so worried about me. She probably thought something happened because I'm not answering. She shows up, there's police everywhere. I'm sure she thought the worst. I apologized profusely. I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Here's what happened. And I explained the whole thing. I did not need to go to the hospital. It was very unnecessary. It was very dramatic, but it happened. It is what it is. I literally sat there in a bed for almost 24 hours. They don't do anything. They come and talk to you for a little bit, but like besides that, you're literally just sitting by yourself in a room. It's like, and the guy, oh my God, the guy in the room next to me was so, see, that's somebody that needed to be in a hospital. Like when you compare the two, yeah, no, I was fine. This guy was in the hallway for 2 hours straight. I was listening to him shout, swear. I thought he was on the phone with somebody because he kept saying, Mom, Mom, Mom. He kept repeating, Mom. I thought he was on the phone with his mother. No, he was talking to himself. Like literally, they finally locked him in the room next to mine. They had to lock him in there because he was being so obnoxious and he was still shouting, still swearing. I could hear him through the walls. So for hours, I'm just listening to this guy talk to himself. I'm like, oh my God, I do not belong here. Like, I know I joke and say I'm like crazy and insane and whatever, but that's a joke, okay? I'm not actually crazy. Like, I am a self-aware person and I have my struggles with things here and there. I go through episodes of whatever emotion, but no, there are people that really need to be in hospitals and mental facilities, and I'm not one of them. So yeah, that was interesting. So it was a really crazy night. And hopefully my friend doesn't hate me. No, she understands. She was like, I'm glad you're okay. Thank you for letting me know what happened. And I was like, yes, I'm so sorry. Because I made her drive over for nothing. Like, of course there's more to the story, but I can't give every little detail, can I? One day when I write a memoir, I will give every detail of every situation in my life. I'm going to write a book on my life one day. Putting it in the universe. Let's do it. Randy Kelly, the story, the life story. Okay, well, I have to get going. So that's the end of my yap session, but... So until next time, I'll talk to you soon.